Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1. That's right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Who invited Will? Let's do a little round of applause for the boys. It's Friday.
Boys.
Hey, that's my thing.
You stole it.
Hey.
We gotta start again.
Hide your kids, hide your wives. The boys are back. Friday beers. Let's go. Come on. And if you're watching this, I hope you're having a beer right now with us. Cheers.
Or if you don't drink, I hope you're having a delicious non-alcoholic beverage. We don't exclude.
Or if you're not thirsty, I hope you're just enjoying listening.
All right.
Hey,
Jinx.
I'm your host, Jay.
Yeah.
Jinx, I owe you.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. I'm your host, Jay.
Uh-huh.
To my left is the glorious, the ever-loving, the masterful, the magnificent Neil Schneider.
Hype them up. Let's go. You already know, baby.
Hit the mic. And to my left is the eponymous, the anonymous, the damn near Deuteronomous Will Trainer. Let's go.
That's me. Yeah. Well, I want to comment something about your shirt. Show the people your shirt. You look like Sid from freaking Toy Story, okay? Did you steal his freaking... Did you go into his closet and steal his clothes?
Yeah.
Is that what you are?
I'm probably missing... Doesn't he have braces
Look,
now?
show them. Show them the picture. Look at that. That is freaking
It does look
Sid.
like the same shirt.
Are you going to blow off rockets in your backyard tonight and blow up toys and
Who else
stuff?
wants to turn Neil's
You
mic
sick?
just a tad down because he's screaming?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just really energetic, okay? I want to bring that
I-
first episode back. The
Did
people
you
have
guys
missed us.
see all of the... I think I
Have the
only
people
saw like
missed
the
us?
first two Toy Stories. I don't
Have
know
you
if
missed
I saw.
us?
I heard Toy Story 3. Actually, Toy Story 3, I heard, is like really sad. Or maybe it's Toy Story 4.
Yeah. Is that the one? That's the one with the toys, right?
Yeah, that one.
Isn't that where
Woody?
Buzz Lightyear gets
Yeah,
cancer?
Yeah. And Sid's in the first episode.
When he goes to visit him, we've had a lot of good times, Buzz.
It was all the space radiation.
So you got that shirt from Toy Story.
All that time on the ISS, you got cancer.
You got that shirt from ToyStory.com, right?
Yes.
Is that okay? As long as we
It's
come to an agreement
Neil,
on that.
Do you know what it's called? It's called... Wait for it. I'm actually thinking of what the term
Okay,
is called.
all right.
It's called cosplay. It's called cosplay.
Guys,
Well, I already fell
you may
asleep,
be
so-
wondering. You may be wondering why we were gone, and I just want to say that freedom of speech is very important to all of us, I think, and cancel culture occasionally gets a little bit crazy. You might say a few things. You might have a few bottles of old something's town. We're legally obligated not to mention anything about a former whiskey sponsor who may or may not have appeared. And by the way, this whiskey, I'm sure that you guys can see it. Old Bardstown recommended me. What?
Before this.
We have new sponsorship though. There's a lot of new things. I just like to
Told
say.
Tungstown, right? Told Tungstown?
Yeah.
Okay.
It might be Told Tardstown. Might be. Oh God, no. So anyway, it was a mutual decision that we would take a break. We thought, we were burning hot, we were getting a little crazy. You know how fame is, it's a drug.
It is, but guess what, guys?
What's
the past is the past.
Yeah.
And we're moving on, and guess what?
We're moving on. And
To
legally,
infinity and beyond.
No more Toy Story jokes.
Oh.
We are. Guess what, everyone? We've got a brand new sponsor for this season. We're really excited to bring them and make them a part of the show. We can't wait to tell
a part
you
of
guys
the Who
about
Invited Will family. We don't have sponsors, we have family members. Because I think we believe in everybody and every business that works with us.
Absolutely.
On a personal level.
What that name is.
I can't tell you right now. The contract hasn't finished. But
Okay.
pretty soon, let's just say, all of our viewers are going to be getting a big discount on wine. So we're really excited.
And not complaining, the drink.
Woo! So anyway,
I'm
we got our
my
sponsor.
box.
We're really excited. We're back.
My chair's breaking.
I know you guys missed us. We have a lot of great things planned
Pop it like it's
for
hot.
season
Pop it like
2.
it's hot.
We've got a lot of great things planned for season 2. The last time you saw us, I won the fast food challenge.
Well, that's not
and
how.
I'm the
That's
fast
not what
food
the
king.
history books say.
No, I won the fast food challenge. Fast food.
No,
king.
you
I got
you
Burger
lo-
King
you
right.
lost.
No, everyone, you have to be a moron not to get Burger King right. I got Burger King right. Will missed it. He's a moron. And now you're looking at the champ. I'll tell you right now, I am positive I'm getting Burger King right. Out of all those names, you have to be a moron not to get Burger King right. This is Burger King. 1000%. This is Burger King.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. It's been decided that Will Traynor is the fast food king.
Oh, it's good to be
You
back.
can tell by
I'm glad
our
to see.
bodies who's been the real champ.
Okay, Sid. All right. So anyway,
I thought we were done with the toasting jokes.
it's just too easy.
It is.
So
Wow.
yeah, we're good to be
Wow,
back.
guys.
So should we jump into our first
I
segment?
feel like we've lost all of our, like, it's literally like we're dusting the rust off. Like,
Yeah.
like we're scraping this is the first day of training camp. This is the first day back for the new season. We're looking a little rough. Some
Yeah,
of us.
but guess what? If they haven't turned it off by now, they're definitely listening to the rest of the episode because
You're trapped.
This has been absolute trash of 5 minutes.
No,
so,
dude, this is good. So wait.
Okay, to you.
Neil, Mr. Programming Coordinator, a la extraordinaire. What is our first segment that we want to jump to? Please?
programming. Okay.
You know, the program.
All right,
that-
let's
you know.
jump to the first segment of the evening, and I think it's a segment that a lot of people will enjoy talking about, and I think it relates to a lot of people, especially if you're single out there, and if you're listening to this podcast,
Or if you're
probably
about to be
out-
single soon,
There's no,
because you're a bad partner.
we won't talk about Jay's situation, but
Or anyone's situation.
or
it
anyone's
could be
situation.
anyone
It
we're
could
talking
be,
about.
It could be Sid. All right, anyway.
Everything's fine.
All right, so
The name of the segment
we're
is
talking about.
There's no name.
There's no name for the segment, but we're going to
It's
talk a
the
little bit about
unnamed
dating.
segment.
We're talking a little about dating today. All right, so
It's
if you're
the
single out there,
dating.
you're gonna wanna tune into this one because it's gonna be a good one.
And if you're not single out there and you're tuning in, turn this shit off because you're happy already.
Jay, calm
Some
down.
of us are miserable.
Sorry, calm down. Listen, okay? It's gonna be okay. Drink your whiskey. All
All right, so let's do this.
so let's talk about this. All right. Will, how's your dating situation going on? What's going on during COVID? Has anything changed? Because last time we were running this podcast, there was this pandemic going on about COVID, and we're like, oh,
I'm glad that's been cured.
Yeah.
And it's 2023 when we're recording this, and it's already been cured.
We-
We're podcasting from
Who
the
would've
future.
thought?
When did we actually end?
during COVID, but beginning. We
Future.
started during COVID. So we
before
started-
or after you
No,
left?
the podcast was a
Your birthday.
pandemic project.
Yeah, it was
I
a
feel.
pandemic project, but by the time we started season 2, I would have said for sure the pandemic would be over with. We'd be back to normal.
Yeah.
We'd be doing stand-up comedy.
Donald
again,
Trump
all
would be
this stuff.
readying for his second term.
No, that's over with. That is totally over with.
my
Biden
dating
supporters,
life-
holla. Say
Biden.
what?
My dating life is going fantastic. I've
Yeah.
had a long-term monogamous relationship
Ooh, monogamy.
with a nice young lady.
Like smooth.
Very
like,
nice.
Smooth
Yeah,
like
things are going
mahogany.
great.
Do you think COVID has affected the relationship? Do you think you're now in a relationship potentially because of COVID? Do you think you?
Wow.
Okay,
hitting
no,
them
that
hard.
you know what? That is something that it was so funny. One of my exes, when she had reached out to me during COVID, and I told her, you know what, I'm seeing someone now. I'm good. That's what she came back with. Was like, well, the only reason is because bars aren't open and you're not going out. And I'm like, well, the reason is that I know myself and I know that I'm enjoying this relationship. Because just as I could have dated, just like if this wasn't
Anyone.
good, I
Literally
could
anyone.
just as easy get on the app and still meet up with people. I don't have
Right,
to
people
go
are
out.
still using dating apps during
Yeah.
the pandemic. People might
Exactly.
not be talking about it, but we know you're sneaking around out there.
I mean,
we
people
know you're
are-
breaking quarantine. You know what's
Oh,
up.
okay, but people were using the dating apps quite a lot prior to COVID. Okay.
Sure.
I
No,
think
but I
the
guarantee
bar
you, if you look up
situation-
statistics, which I haven't, but if you look up statistics, I guarantee you that you'll see that there are more people who are using dating apps now. I mean, I think even you got on date. You are a historic. I hate dating apps
Anti-dating
guy.
app.
Dating apps
Oh.
are lame. Oh, I'm so much better in person.
they-
oh,
listen.
you know what? That's not giving yourself a shot. Da 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 da. And you got back on dating apps. I think shortly after the pandemic. I mean, it was
No.
a few months.
No.
No.
I
You
just got back
tried.
into it.
You tried to date. I think a few times in person, but you just weren't meeting enough people. I don't think.
Because of the whole COVID situation. I think
Right, that's
a-
my point.
These bars shutting down, stuff shutting down, not being able to do social events, have people over at your house, parties, etc. I mean, Will just had a 30th birthday party. We had a bunch of people that were going to go over. And then we had a COVID scare. And, 4 or 5
And
people
here we
in.
are doing the podcast
And here we
again
are,
because
3
we're
of
back
us.
under lockdown,
But
baby.
we
We
trust
have nothing
3
to
of
do.
us.
And we
trust
all
us
live
3.
alone. Well, I mean, that's
We
not
trust
correct,
us 3.
Yeah.
But
So anyway, so mine's
We do
going
live
great.
alone. We haven't seen anyone for like the last 2 weeks. Well, I mean, I haven't.
I'm just saying, dating during COVID.
Neil, how's yours going?
Dating during COVID has been difficult. I tried to stick to my old regimen because I'm definitely an old school guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely an old school guy.
Meaning?
Push-ups, sit-ups every morning.
You know, I'm really into working out. It's obviously my physical fitness is top notch. We all know about that.
Oh yeah, dude. You have a 10 out of 10 body.
Yeah, you know what I'm
And
saying?
the mind of a you have what some people refer to as the Mamba mentality. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. R.I.P.
And I don't drink beer because it's really bad for you.
No.
And it's straight starch.
So how's it
But-
going?
All right, let's stay focused.
How's your dating life going? You stay focused. You're talking about
Dating life
beer.
is I try again, like I'm trying to get to my old regimen where I'm meeting people at parties, get-togethers, parks, etc. But now when everyone's wearing masks and you can't see people, these 2 over here, these guys to my right, have pushed
Your
me
left.
towards getting on the apps.
Get on the
Well,
apps,
I'm on
dude.
one app. I decided like 3 weeks ago that I'm gonna
Which
try
app?
an
Let me
app.
guess. Bumble.
Yeah, Bumble. What's
Why?
wrong with Bumble?
He's a Bumble boy. He's basic.
Okay,
Basic
I'm
Bumble
a-
boy.
okay, listen. Let's talk about the apps, right?
What
We
do you
got-
think?
This is the mainstream apps. We got Tinder, we got Bumble, we got Hinge. Am
Yeah.
I right? Those are the top 3. Am I right in something?
I guess some people do
Grindr?
OkCupid. I mean, Grinder, yeah, but that's
Yeah,
mostly
I
for
tried
gay men.
Grinder, it didn't work for me. So
Okay, so
back
yeah,
to those
for
Oh, dude, I gotta
heterosexual
plug the
tied
plug the
relationships.
computer and the charger. Do you think you can reach it?
I can and I
my god! I'm breaking. I'm sitting on a grill.
What were you saying about the 3?
It's
What did
on the
you
other
say,
side.
Will?
You know where it is,
I
right?
think those are the 3 heterosexual.
Okay, so you guys
Process.
tell me because you guys are the dating app guys. You guys are very
I've
dating
had-
app
I've had
oriented.
most luck on
You're in a
Hinge.
relationship because of
Hinge.
dating app.
Hinge.
You're in a relationship
Yes.
because of a dating
Which
app.
one?
Tinder.
I'm the
Tinder.
single guy
Ooh.
here.
I think honestly,
Yours
everyone-
from Tinder.
if the
Yes.
dating apps had personalities, I feel like you are Bumble, I'm Hinge, and Will is Tinder, like to a T. That's true.
But
Why?
go into detail
Yeah.
about that. You
You're
can't
like
just
a
say that.
D1 tennis player. You're looking for, an all-American girl. That's, I think, your type. The all-American girl.
The All American Girls on
yeah.
Bumble.
Oh, God. That's all that's on Bumble, I feel.
You know, the
Bumble
thing I like
bee.
about Bumble is that guys can't harass girls on Bumble. Hey, we all know I'm the biggest feminist in this podcast.
I can't say anything.
No, but if a girl's reaching out to you, that obviously not only did you match, but then she has the authoritativeness to
Assertiveness.
reach out-
Okay, but no.
assertiveness to reach out to you.
Confidence,
Wouldn't
confidence.
you say that if a girl's
For
reaching out
you,
to
I think for you, that means more than
But
any of us.
This is also bullshit because
Why?
what you've said is every single time a girl reaches out to me, her first line is trash, and I can't believe it's a joke.
I said that?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's nothing.
Okay, so then now all of a sudden you're saying like, oh, it's
likes the
because
fact
they're
that she's
feminist and they get to
No, I
choose
think he likes.
themselves.
I think he likes the fact that they're reaching out. I just think he doesn't like what they're saying. Maybe.
I don't judge them on their first line. The thing is,
Oh.
the thing is, I think it doesn't. There's a
Miscommunication?
false characterization there. I don't judge them on that, but I feel like when you're reaching out to a girl, they judge you on your first line, which is just ridiculous. Because if we judge girls on their first line, no girl would ever get a date from any
That's
app.
a lie.
No,
though.
they would all
There
get
are
dates.
no-
They
You
can
guys-
say, a girl can say anything, dude.
Yeah, and you're like, wait.
If
No,
she's-
I'm just
if
saying
you're
that-
attracted
if
to
we
her,
were
you're
ju-
like,
yeah,
wow,
but if we
that's
were
so
judging them, but if we
interesting.
were judging them by their first line, I'm getting
Oh,
all
I
the
see what
time,
you're saying.
Hey,
If-
what's up? Hey,
Yeah.
what's up? Hey, how's your day?
But I think
hey,
it's on
hey, hey.
it's on guys
I mean,
to be clever more because I feel like socially, at least, we're conditioned to be the ones who have to approach and.
Yeah.
Oh, so they just can get away. They don't have to send a nice line, but we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's
I think
not,
that's
not
it's
fair.
not fair, but it's
That's
a
not fair.
societal.
75 cents on the dollar.
Well,
It's a
I don't judge. I don't judge a girl by her first line.
Oh god.
I don't judge a girl by her
I
first
can't-
line.
I can't
But when
say
a girl reaches out to you, then I feel like, oh, okay, she's about it.
But
So then
okay,
I'm
but
gonna talk to her,
let's
so then
also
it's
be
nice.
honest. Let's also be honest here. I want to just be full disclosure. The other reason why you're on it is because you think the girls are prettier on Bumble compared to the other two.
Absolutely.
So let's say that's
And
the main
which
reason.
app has the ugliest girls?
Hinge.
I
That's
don't,
what he says.
Okay,
And,
so
wait,
I
and-
also-
and Hinge. And where did I meet the chick I'm dating?
Hinge. But then you
So
could
what are
also,
you trying to say, Neil?
You could also say
What are you trying to say,
That's
Neil?
not-
No,
Nothing to do
because
with
then
that.
it
That has
could,
nothing
it could
to do
also
with
be.
that.
Then people say Tinder. Tinder is just a hookup site. It's just people trying to hook up. That's where I met my girlfriend, and that was never a thing. Like we both wanted to date from the beginning. So,
Give me your dating app power rankings, 1 through 3. Give me your favorite, the best one, and explain why, and give me the worst one.
What?
Go in order. Power rankings.
For me, I would honestly say Tinder because I've had the most success on Tinder.
Let's say power rankings during COVID, too, if that changes
I don't know.
anything.
It's all the same for me.
I
same thing.
haven't had dating apps.
So you're saying Tinder's your number one?
Yes, 100%.
This is notoriously known as the trashiest
Yes.
hookup.
Yeah.
No, well, yeah.
That's what it's
not
known
everything.
for. That's what it
not everything.
originally was.
Hey, tell me
everyone-
why Tinder?
Okay, so
I
for
feel like
me-
Neil's interrogating us about
No,
this.
that's fine. I think it's
You
good.
guys are the app people. I'm trying the apps
I
out, and
definitely
I'm
was.
not having success, to be honest. Well, I had a situation. We'll talk about
Yeah.
it, but I want to hear from the app boys.
Okay, so for me,
Yeah.
I had all three. I was Pokemon collect them all. I had them. I was swiping, and to me, it's like what your profile is, how you present yourself, and also how you communicate in those first couple messages. I'm not saying, "Yo, bitch, wanna fuck." In the first messages, I'm saying, I see you in this picture, you do this, blah, blah, blah. So I think it's how you start off the conversation sets the tone for how the relationship will go. And I've never been on Tinder. I've never had it where it's just like strictly a hookup. It's always been a date. And if it went well, it led to a second date, which led to maybe something physical. So what I'm saying is I had the most success on Tinder, especially using super likes.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that
I agree. You
more.
told me about that. And
But you're saying that reaching out and starting the conversation is the way to go, and it sets the tone. Can you not do that on Hinge? It's the exact same
Hinge,
thing
you can actually do that better.
Hinge is better.
So then why are you giving Tinder number one?
Hinge, you can message first. Well, because I think
let me ask Will. It's still Will's chair here. Why is he going Tinder number one?
He's interrogating us.
Tinder.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Will has the floor.
It was both.
Will has the floor.
So Tinder, I think there is more people on Tinder, even though it has a stigma associated with it. When I was on Hinge, I really did that was the best feature about Hinge, I think, is
message
that you can
first.
send any kind of message to anyone. So then you can really make a unique message based on what they put. For me, I don't know. I'm just going off of success and as far as
so you're the most successful on Tinder.
I've had Bumble, swiped, didn't get really that many matches.
I think I
Hinge,
barely get anything
same
on
thing.
Bumble.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going Tinder, Hinge, Bumble.
I think
Yes.
Bumble.
Jay?
I think for me, it's more of a almost race or ethnicity thing. I think Bumble is like 97 to 99% white. Tinder.
No, that's a lie.
Tinder
I can
is
tell you
probably
for a fact
maybe
that's not true.
Tinder is more diverse, and Hinge. I don't know. I just feel like I've seen more diverse people on Tinder and Hinge than Bumble for sure.
Okay.
Maybe it's just in Colorado.
I definitely think that Bumble is
The
very
whitest.
white.
It's
I agree
very.
with that.
That's why I say all American girl.
Yes.
Grew up in the Midwest, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that's what I've noticed. Grew up in the Midwest, played a sport in college.
You don't see that on Hinge or Tinder?
Not as much.
Honestly, I think
Tinder, you see more women who are maybe a little bit older, I think. You see...
Well, you got to set your settings, Jay.
Yeah, between 65 and 75.
Yeah,
that's their age range.
But then another
Myrtle
thing
for a fucking match.
with
Ethel, get out of the car, dear.
Hey,
it's time for our date.
Let's not shame sugar mamas, okay? We all need that sugar
No
mama.
ageism. I don't like ageism.
another
No,
thing
absolutely
with Hinge, I honestly do think that there are more quality women. Like as far as
I think they're more
relation-
serious and they're looking for
Yes.
something. They're looking for a deeper
weird.
connection.
Okay,
There's
y'all
more,
are
there's
talking
more
serious. You want serious. Oh, here we go with serious. Why don't you just get on Match.com?
Please
You want
say
serious?
serious again.
100%.
Match is more serious. Match is more serious.
Okay, you're looking
What's
for
wrong with
serious.
that though? You're looking for something more
No,
serious.
on Hinge,
so
I
why
think
would you
there's
not go on
quality.
Okay, I think
Yes,
on
there's
Hinge there's more
quality.
authenticity. That's the word. Authenticity.
You think it's
I
more
think,
authentic?
and you can agree. I think
What
people,
makes it more authentic?
It's not just people who look like they're trying to fill out the cookie cutter dating profile. Oh, this is the one of me skiing. Oh, this is the one with my dog.
Hiking.
Oh, this is the one at the beach.
Can we
This is
talk
the one
about
of me
the? Can we
holding
talk
the
about the
cardboard,
hiking
holding the
photos?
cardboard sign? The holding the cardboard sign. Oh, 14,250.
Can we talk about
that
the
is
hiking-
Bumble. Everyone's profile is the exact same. Hinge is different.
All right, if you're a girl listening to this,
In
let me
Hinge,
tell
it's
you
like I'm a
something.
circus performer.
Let me
or,
tell you
know.
something, and maybe these guys will agree or not. I don't know. I swipe left every time I see a hiking photo because it's so freaking basic. It's still ridiculous. Every girl has the hiking. Every single girl has the hiking
This
photo.
is why I said,
Why?
This is what I'm listening to.
What are you
that's
trying
wrong.
to prove?
Neil, I think this is something.
That you hike?
This is something.
Cool. You walk up a hill.
You don't like hiking?
Okay,
Congratulations.
hiking's fun.
I just think it's just so played out. You know what's even more played out? Skiing. God,
Okay,
this is
but-
so just.
But that's
who
what
are
people
you?
do. That's what
It's-
they're doing
it's
in their lives.
Supposedly the same thing happens
Cool.
with guys, Neil.
It's basic.
You-
I go to Walmart. Do I post Walmart photos? Anyway, go ahead.
Walmart is a little different than skiing and
No,
hiking,
it's
dude.
just like, oh, look, see how outgoing
But that's
because
you're on Bumble. I feel like Bumble, everyone's like that. It's very like you're creating an
if I went
image.
hiking and I go hiking sometimes, I don't post photos of it.
But
No,
then
but my
supposedly
point-
the whole thing is with guys, like it's the same thing. There's
Right,
always a guy with a
fishing.
fish, yeah. So
Flexing with his shirt
Is that what
off,
guys
or-
do?
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
always
we
fishing
don't
pictures.
know.
Fishing,
no,
I've heard,
that's
yeah.
like a whole thing.
Fishing?
Yeah. So, but then the whole thing, to me, I'm not trying to.
Photo with the car.
Yeah.
That's a guy.
Car photo? I bet
cash
there's
money.
shirtless photos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Sure
there's
is.
always like one.
But
But,
then
I'm saying
the
I
whole
like
thing
people
is,
who
like-
aren't like that.
Sure, but then
You don't like
I'm also
shirtless
saying,
guys?
like, why not?
I love shirtless guys, Neil. Of course.
Let
If
me
you're
take
gonna
my
be
shirt off.
so judgmental, to me, I was like more open. Does the person look like someone I'm attracted to, and does what they have in their
I
profile?
love how that's open-minded. I'm open-minded. I'm looking for looks.
No, but then you read their profile, and so
Yeah.
then if they have a picture of them hiking, I'm not gonna say, oh well, they have that, or they have a picture in front of like a Denver sign with the angel,
Or the angel wings and rhino.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the classic one. The angel wings and
So-
rhino.
Yeah,
To me, it's like-
another
so-
basic mural photo.
Yeah.
Just stop.
I see you. If
man.
you walk by that, you literally walk by that thing and you see the chicks taking the photos.
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
just like,
I mean-
oh, this is so cringy.
It's
Yeah.
not cringy.
No, yeah, you gotta accept being the Instagram.
But I
boyfriend,
want someone
too.
who's eccentric a little bit. I want someone who's a little bit had a off the beaten path kind of life, you know. And I think Hinge is where you find that. You
So
find
your
someone
power
who's-
rankings are Hinge number 1. What's number 2? Tinder.
Tinder,
then?
Bumble, Hinge, Tinder, Bumble.
Man, everyone's last is Bumble, huh?
I just think
it's
you
a
should-
personality
That's the
thing.
only app.
Exactly. It's
Okay, let me
personality.
explain
It's
to you.
totally
Okay,
personality.
so these guys forced me.
These guys. We're
basically
sitting right
forced
here.
Me. They said,
This young man.
I'm not trying to flex, but I bought a townhouse from the money we made on the first season of the show.
Weird flex,
Is
but
that a
okay.
big- is that a
We
big
all bought a
deal?
lot of things. I
Is
bought a
that a-
sports car and I crashed it. What about my Lambo, Neil? All right, I took my crypto money and I took the first season winnings. I
But you still
crashed
have
the
the
Lambo.
Tesla. You still have the Tesla, so don't.
It's not as fun,
Alright,
Neil.
finish the
No,
thought.
I know.
It's
You
not
bought
as
a
bad for the
townhouse.
environment.
So now I'm living on my own. I'm a little bit in the suburbs and everything, and these guys are telling me, "Well, now Neil, you know you're a little bit far away from the city. You know you should probably, if you want to settle down, and you can't see people like you used to when you go out and stuff at bars because of COVID. You should get on the apps." And I said, "All right, guys, I'll try it out." My first thing I went to was Bumble because
That's where
The
you're
girls
gonna
were
find.
prettier.
I heard girls were pretty. I haven't been on the apps in like
Why?
5 years,
It is.
4 or 5 years.
'Cause they're
and
all, like,
Bumble was always
professional.
good. Bumble was always good. I remember in the past with Hinge.
I
get
remember
on
back when we were
Hinge-
15, 16.
I
Bumble
get on
was
Hinge.
amazing.
Wait a minute. I get on Hinge, and I just never. I'm not looking for the prettiest girl in the world. I am very into intelligence. There's no doubt about that. There has to be a connection. Yeah, but they're looking at me like that. That's not true. I'm not going for Miss America. I'm not.
You're like Miss Texas, maybe. You know, a state,
no.
a state beauty contestant, yes,
It's
but
just
national,
You're
no.
not reading.
I have never made a Tinder profile in my entire. I've never been on Tinder. I don't
Have-
know what Tinder's
have you
like,
ever
but I
read-
heard it's a hookup app. I will not go on Tinder. Just the basis of it. I just haven't
It's not.
done it.
No, Tinder's not bad.
And then Hinge, when I was on it about like 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't like anyone I saw.
So how
I
are you
just
telling?
didn't.
So you're
Like
saying
hundreds of girls. I didn't like them.
You're saying, okay, so you didn't like them, but I've seen how you swipe, and you're not reading their profile, you're looking at their picture. So you saying I'm looking for someone who's intelligent as you're swiping through just looking.
And pretty.
Okay, and pretty. So
And
let's
pretty.
make
A
sure
little-
that
you got to be attracted to them.
Okay,
I
fair
agree.
enough, but
It's
that's fine.
important,
There's a
it's
difference
important.
between attract.
Everyone looks at photos
scale.
first, and if they like
Okay.
photos, then they read.
I've never
right?
had any success on Hinge. I don't even know if I had a match on there. I think I was on there for a little bit. I haven't gone back on there yet. So I got on Bumble.
Yes.
3 weeks ago. I got on Bumble, swiping away when I had time. Got a match. I got a match. Nice girl. She's very cute. Talk a little bit. Let me explain to you.
Very cute.
Because we're going to get
wait,
into something.
wait. Very cute. I didn't think she was very cute. Did
you?
Oh,
there you go. See, that proves my point.
I thought she was
That
cute.
proves my point right there that I'm not going for Miss
No,
America.
I think
that proves my point.
A friend who was in town said the same thing. We looked over her profile together. I felt like it's like you were already writing the story of,
there was a connection.
She's a nice person and
I'm
she's
sit on this side of the bed.
There was a nice connection.
We can share a townhouse together. You know, like
no,
but they're okay.
Let him finish the story.
Let me make this point because this point has to do with this point of the story that he's at. Because the whole story he's going to tell is about a conversation they had over Zoom, right?
Way to ruin it.
No, but I'm just saying the actual story itself.
Well, there's the story, ladies and gentlemen.
No. We're talking about a Zoom conversation. That's what the story you're going to tell. FaceTime, whatever. My point is, the story I'm telling is before you even talk to her, before you even really message her that much, you are already telling the story of her personality. Oh, she's a nice person and she seems like this. You don't know if she's a nice person because you've never actually met her, is my point. So you're acting like she was cute and she was nice and she was this. Her profile looked like that. But you don't know if that's actually who she is. That's just what her profile is.
So you're saying
you're reading into her profile.
What you're saying is when someone makes a match with someone and they like them, don't start putting stories into your head of how that person should be. Don't try to characterize someone you don't really know. But I don't think I'm the only. I think a lot of people listening.
I do that too. That's what I'm telling you.
I think this is a very common thing that happens.
100%.
So how would you say? How do you go about not doing that? Just be more aware of the situation. How do you not do that?
Yeah, you go on enough dates to then realize that it can go really bad or really good or mediocre, and there's no telling before you meet someone. It doesn't matter how good the texting is, how much chemistry you feel, until you see the person, until you actually interact with them, you don't know. And then even if it goes well, doesn't mean anything.
You don't know their character. It takes a while to get to know someone's character. Is my point.
Okay, sure, but let's talk about. Let's say you have a first date and it does go well, and then you start building those expectations again. How would you go about not doing that?
It's just, I think, being aware of the fact that you are doing it.
Well,
saying when you start having these thoughts of, I'll sleep on this side of the bed, and we'll have this kind of dog, and we'll get married, and we'll live in this place, and she's that, and we'll play tennis together. Da 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 da. That is, you have to recognize, that is just me. You have to tell yourself, oh, hey, I'm writing stories about the future with this person who I don't even know. How funny. It's fine to hope and have dreams and stuff, but if you attach yourself to those stories, I have to now make these stories come true in real life, you're going to be disappointed most of the time.
See, I agree with you there, but at the same time, I feel like you have to go through so many negative situations, so many situations where you do set those expectations and those expectations are not met.
Okay.
You have to go through the ringer before you start realizing.
You don't have to beat yourself up.
No, you're not beating yourself up.
That's
You're
what it sounds
losing.
like.
No. You need to lose so many times in a row to start realizing that, hey, I shouldn't do that.
There's two things, Neil. I would say there's two things. One thing is, I agree that it does come from experience. The more dates you go on, the more, like I was saying, the more kind of experience you have, the more you can set those expectations. This might sound bad, but for me, what helped was going on multiple dates at the same time. You gotta, because then that way you're not obsessing over one person, thinking, oh, where's this going? Oh, what are they doing? And as long as everyone's on the same page, they know that, you know that, then that's fine. Because then as soon as you start obsessing of, oh, well, this is going to go here, or I can't wait for this to happen.
Right, I agree.
But I think you're reiterating my point, which is practice makes perfect. You need to practice, go on dates.
And you're going to get hurt over and over and over and have disappointment.
But you won't get hurt as much if you don't create those expectations in the first place.
Exactly.
But then there's those people, I know girls who get on the app. They'll go on. I have a girlfriend of mine. She just got on the app the same time as me. She's in a relationship right now.
Yeah.
Completely.
But it's not
pretty girl. So why is it so much different for a girl than for a guy? I feel like a girl gets on the app, they get it. They get a lot of them.
They also go through, or from what I've talked to certain people, and they've said that they go on apps, and there's just a lot of trash men out there as well. It's just like you go out.
Ladies,
well, let me.
When you see my profile.
Okay, let me bring you a situation since we're talking about all this stuff.
Okay, yeah. So what happened? What happened?
So I got on Bumble, and again, I got this match. We start messaging one another. She's kind of leading the way for the most part, and she seems to be. You know, when you're talking to somebody, and you feel like you're taking charge. I think a lot of guys who listen to this, they know that they have to keep the conversation alive.
Yeah.
And that's never a good thing.
Asking
I don't
the
think.
questions.
Yeah, you got to keep it going. It's like, come on.
You're like the conductor. You're like the locomotive conductor of the conversation.
Yeah, I like someone who can keep the conversation going without me coercing her into the conversation. And that's, for me, it's very rare that happens. I don't know why that is. I agree. But it's very rare for me to find that. And then this girl that I met, we'll call her Sarah. She was asking a lot of questions. She was being very curious about me, asking, this and that, and keeping the conversation going, which was good. So a couple days of texting on the app goes by, and again, I don't really want to be on the app for the most part, so I'm going to shoot for the number. I thought we'd be talking enough where we should get off the app and start moving the exact same conversation that's going on the app, but move it to a text conversation. So I asked for the number. She gives me the number. We start texting there. A few days, it's been like 4 or 5 days in. Set up a date. Okay, Jay, what are you doing? This is so distracting. Sit on the box.
I got it.
So anyway,
you got her number.
We start
you guys are messaging.
We start messaging. We're supposed to meet up. Let's say it's last Thursday, right? We're supposed to meet up last Thursday. We set the date like on the Saturday before it. We set the date.
Okay.
Monday comes along and she sends me a message. She said, hey, I know we have this date set for Thursday. I'm supposed to come up and see you, blah, blah, blah. But I got exposed to COVID and I tested negative.
Classic excuse.
Yeah, I thought I was waiting for her to bail.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
What I'm getting to is bailing and ghosting. That's what I want to talk about next, and that's why.
What's the difference?
It's a thing that I don't like about the apps, and this is why I don't like the apps, because
ghosting
is so easy from the app. But we'll get to it. And everyone listening knows about the apps and why people don't like the apps, because of the bailing and the ghosting is just so easy. So I'm like, oh, here comes the ghost. Here comes the bail text. So she said, oh, I got COVID. I'm like, all right, she's gonna bail. And I said, well, it's probably not a good idea that we, even though you tested negative, you could still have it. I think it'd be a good idea if we don't see each other Thursday. And she goes, yeah, you're probably right, but would you like to do a FaceTime date?
Which is good. I would say
so
that
she's reaching out. And
yes.
Again, right, the conversation's been flowing, it's been good. So I'm thinking, all right, great. Let's do that. And I'm like all for it. I'm like, sure, why not? You know what? Why not? Give it a shot. So we get together Thursday when we're supposed to meet, but instead we do it over FaceTime. The call starts at 6:30. She's drinking her wine. I'm drinking a little whiskey. We're talking, bantering. Time flies. We finished the FaceTime call at 10 p.m.
It was an amazing date.
3.5 hours on a FaceTime call, and it wasn't forced conversation. We could have easily gone another 2 or 3 hours. Easy.
I think sometimes on Zoom, though, the conversation is a little easier.
FaceTime.
Whatever.
Are you drunk?
Easier? I don't think so. In person is so much easier than to me.
How dare you?
And she looked great. The conversation was flowing. It was perfect. I thought it was, if I gave it a 1 through 10, I give it 9.4 out of 10. And that's a really high rating. So
what
I'm
was
thinking,
her rating,
great, it's going. Well, we're about to find out. So as we're talking in the conversation, we're talking about cocktails a little bit, and everyone knows I'm kind of an espresso martini guy. I asked her about the espresso martini.
That is your specialty.
I said, has she ever had an espresso martini before? And she goes, I love espresso martinis. So I said, here, I'll send you a picture of what some of the espresso
some of your handiwork.
Yeah.
Some of your craft.
My hobby. So after the phone call ends, and I think this is where my downfall is, and maybe you guys can talk about
I already know
let's hear his downfall.
No.
Or
I message her after the date. And the date again's at 10. So like 10:15, I send her a picture of the espresso martini. And she goes, ooh, it looks frothy AF. And I said something like, yeah, you got to stir it real good. Or something stupid. It was just dumb. Like,
you're doing it.
No, but
I don't agree. This isn't a downfall. You're leading the audience to agree with your perspective on this.
It was dumb sexual banter.
Okay.
And then...
you look a little frothy.
And then I said, when you're done with quarantine, and I said, if I would love to make you one time. I would love to make you one when you're done with quarantine. She says, I will definitely take you up on that. And then I said, great, I can't wait.
And you were like, and that's legally binding.
And I said, great. I said, great. I can't wait. And she put like, I can't wait. And she put a heart on it. So I'm thinking it went fine.
She put a heart on it.
Here's the thing, guys. I think the issue, and I think you agree with me, is if you're gonna after your date, you don't talk to the girl again unless you want to set up a
No, I don't agree with you. You're again. This is my downfall, and
the reason I say
my
that,
banter was terrible. Like if it had worked out, you wouldn't be saying any of that. You'd be like, oh wow, she really liked the joke. It's not about either way. If it works out, it doesn't work out. People don't do one misplaced joke. I hope to God doesn't ruin a connection.
No, right. No, but it wasn't even a misplaced joke. She was still hard and stuff and whatnot. So
but my point is people ghost not because you did something wrong.
Well,
You're saying it's because you did something wrong.
Next day, so I know she's quarantining. I know she can't really go anywhere because of the whole COVID thing. She told me she's going to stay in her place and just hang out.
She could have lied.
She could have.
I
messaged her about something, and typically she responds like within an hour at the latest. Like 4 hours goes by, and she responds.
So it's cooling off.
I'm like,
the conversation's cool.
Okay, but
1 to 4 hours isn't a big deal.
I've done the same thing before, where then you start analyzing certain situations, and it's like, at the end of the day, if someone wants to talk to you or be with you, they'll make it happen. And if they respond 3 hours later, and they could be busy.
Okay, great. They could be busy. She could have been busy for sure.
Okay, but the only reason you're reading into this so negative, my point is as well, because it didn't work out. If it didn't work out.
No, just wait. So I send her a response to what she sent to me. 2 days goes by, nothing. And then 2 days, and she sends, hey, sorry, I haven't been good with my phone this weekend.
Classic.
What is that?
Classic.
What could that? She's quarantining in her house by herself. I mean,
so she says.
Everything has been good, right? So she sends that. So now I'm getting some red flags. Like, okay, this isn't gonna go well. So I send another message. Days go by, nothing. Like 4 or 5 days. So I sent something like, hey, I really enjoyed our conversation over FaceTime.
That's like a last chance.
I thought it went well, and if you're, I think I put it on her like, hey, if you want to have a second date, then I'm totally available to do so. But I feel like, and she has never responded, and she basically ghosted from there. How do you have... And that's why I think the dating apps are just trash. Because there's so much bailing and it's so much ghosting because it's so freaking easy. When you meet someone in person, it's a lot different story.
But you just gotta lower your expectations. You gotta lower your expectations.
That has nothing to do with expectations.
It does.
How do you have a 3.5 hour FaceTime and get ghosted?
You could meet somebody and have a first date with them and then you don't have a second.
Yeah.
That's common, dude.
And just because let me just put this in perspective. You're saying meet people in person. You could meet someone in person at a bar, and there's also not the same level of
accountability
is what I was looking for. But then if you're talking about meeting someone through a friend, then it's like, okay, well, we both know the same person. Now I actually have to
I'm gonna get another beer. Anyone want another beer?
No?
Then you actually have to say, okay, well, I know this person. I don't want to look like a sleazebag or whatever because my friend knows them. And so then there is accountability. And that's just, it's just shitty people. And it's, to me, then it's almost a relief because then it's like, okay, well, if that's the kind of person that she is or he is, well, then good riddance. If you don't have enough respect.
I disagree with you guys, and here's where I disagree. I think I made an error, and I think guys that have a lot of success on the apps, they do this. And not just success on the apps.
Have a lot of success, but then you said it's an error?
They do this. I made an error. I didn't do this.
Oh, you didn't do this. Okay.
I didn't do this, and I think a lot of guys who have success in dating, and the guys who have a lot of success on the apps, they do this. And that is remaining mysterious. I think it's a very, very key element. When you open all the doors and expose yourself and show everything, it makes it less attractive in a way because then they know basically all about you. What is there to surprise them? And it comes off as a little desperate, and you don't ever want to come off with that.
Because desperate is scary.
Recommendation, and maybe you guys would agree. I don't know. I'm hoping you guys would agree with this. And that is to remain a little bit mysterious. after your first date, you don't reach out for a few days. You don't.
I think that's too much of playing the game.
Exactly.
I think that's playing the game.
That's the society we live in nowadays, and I like the old school way because
it's not the society, it's just the people.
In the 1970s, I would have flourished like there's nobody's business.
It's just
but now with this game that has been created by these millennials, which is
created.
It's definitely it was definitely not like that before.
No, it was.
No, this has changed.
The people you're talking to, and I think that's the like. If you talk to somebody. I've had it happen. Will's had it happen. You go on a date with somebody. You think it goes great. You're talking. Oh, my family this, that. Oh, I like this flavor of ice cream too. Wow, it's destiny. And then they ghost you or they bail on you. And it sucks because it hurts your ego. But if there's one thing I've learned about hurt egos is you can't just get bitter and resentful.
I'm not getting bitter or resentful. Who's doing that?
Me. No, I was talking about myself more. Okay. You can't get bitter and resentful and lash out because then you'll end up alone and sad. I'm sorry. So...
if you're watching this, say sorry.
So sorry.
Anyway, so
we'll talk about it.
All right.
So my point is this: you meet people who are not mature enough to have a negative conversation. They don't want to have any kind of confrontation. They're putting on a face when they meet you, and they seem great. Of course, they seem great because they're. You checking your? What are you checking your?
Let's switch the roles. Let me
ask you two about you two because you guys have both been successful on the apps. So I'm going to come to you guys and say, how do you think you have been successful on the apps? What have you done that have made you successful on using the dating apps that people watching the show that are using apps and want to be successful that they can learn from?
Get rid of expectations is probably the biggest.
Yeah.
Don't try to play games or wait to respond or whatever. Just be yourself. You have to learn to let go when it doesn't work. And that's the biggest, I think, lesson of dating apps is that you're 99 out of 100 times it's not going to work out. Maybe more than
99 out of 100
but
times.
it doesn't matter because when you do meet someone worthwhile, if that's your goal, then like all the people who passed on you or who you passed on or who had a connection but didn't work out or I thought they were attractive or they seemed so into it or she wanted to drink my frothy espresso martinis. You know, it doesn't matter
frothy
because
AF.
It doesn't matter because
frothy AF.
Because the reality
that
is
means as fuck. I think she wanted to fuck.
Well, clearly not.
Well,
but no, what I'm saying is when you meet somebody who's into you, who's interested in you, who you connect with, these little, I should have said a clever joke, I should have played this game, I should have waited 5 minutes. It's not going to matter in the long term.
I think you're underrating the game, both of you.
I'm not underrating the game. I've read the game.
So my advice, so for me, I had like zero dating experience coming into college.
Mm-hmm.
Through college, I had basically zero dating experience.
Loser.
Yes, for sure. There was not a cool guy. I definitely understand like how I reacted with women. Can you just
okay?
It was funny. It was funny the first time. Yeah, Neil's attention span here.
Okay,
I get into 2 sentences of an answer. I get into 2 sentences of an answer. He's checking the time of the podcast on his phone while I'm giving my answer.
Talk.
So for me, what I found was that the more and more I dated, even if I wasn't successful, I became more and more confident. So it gets back to that practice thing. And the more confident you get, even you're going on a date. So same thing that you've said multiple times. Oh, I just it's nice hanging out with pretty women. And I 100% agree that you did.
Me?
Yes.
No.
You said that earlier today.
That doesn't sound...
You said about 2 hours ago.
Everyone who knows me, you know that doesn't sound like me. That's
exactly
how I sound.
So,
that's actually exactly how I sound. Okay,
so what I would say is that the more and more you just put yourself out there and experience people and new situations, the more and more confidence you grow in yourself. And then the more you realize that, yes, it's very nice to have someone else, but I can be picky too.
And whenever you
come off as, like, guys and girls can sense that desperate or that wanting thing. And so there is a little bit of cat and mouse.
That's what I'm saying. You got to remain a little bit mysterious. Maybe I messaged too early after the first date.
Expectations will help that.
This is the thing.
No. Yeah.
It's different when you're thinking of, okay, I'm not going to text for 2 days, and when you're just doing it because that's natural. And there is a huge difference there of that natural. Hey, I'm just seeing where
to
things
become
go.
that natural, you have to train yourself, though, don't you?
Or
Yes,
you just have to,
going
you
along
have
with
to gain confidence. You have to gain confidence.
No, me?
Yes.
Confident? Do you think
You're overconfident, Neil.
No, not in this.
I think you're.
I think you're not confident about dating apps.
Oh!
I don't think you're
confident.
confident. I don't think he's confident at all.
Alright, well, we'll leave it to the viewers to make that decision.
No,
this
because
has been a good talk. No, I think we've come to a determination.
You're like, I think the clock said 43 minutes.
45 minutes in.
He's like, let me ask you a really heartfelt question. You'll give Jay and Will give your best opinion. We get 2 words in, and he picks his phone up and he just starts looking at how oh well, 43 minutes. Guess the podcast is over. Look, man.
All right.
I think that in conclusion,
final words,
all I
final
would say,
words.
I'll give my final word. Then Will, you can give your final word. I guess my final word is this: expectations are a trap. They're a prison. When you have these expectations that you bring into a situation with, you're coming in with baggage. You're coming in with all of the past things that didn't work out, and this has to work out because 3 girls goes to me, or 2 girls
the clock
goes.
is ticking, too.
2 sentences in, dude. You can't let me get to. I'm about to make a point.
No, not this clock. I'm saying the clock of life is ticking.
Oh.
Like you're getting older.
30
No,
years
it's
old.
not. It's not taking.
But I'm just saying, you start thinking.
Well, I'm saying you have to turn that pressure off.
That
If you're
pressure- that
if you're
pressure
playing in
cooker's going
tennis,
up.
this is
You're
the last.
telling me as
This
you
is the
don't
last
get older,
question.
the pressure cooker doesn't go up a little bit on
Well,
that?
hey, I'm a little bit older than you guys, so
That's
yeah,
why I'm asking,
dude,
old man.
yeah, I'm.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'm turning into beef jerky as we speak. Dude.
like
The pressure cooker is
you
turning
look
up.
like Indian Yoda over here.
Oh my god, Indian Yoda, dude. You look like.
I did not like that. If you're not watching the video show, Jay did not like that.
You look like Jar Jar Binks if you worked for Barstool Sports.
Oh, that's the best, sickest burn and most accurate. Wow.
Alright.
I wish
We're
I could have thought of
even.
that.
We're even. We're
my
even.
knees are like a baseball. Oh, NFL Sundays. Oh. Okay, no. My last final word is this, Neil.
Hey,
when you're
Barstool
playing
Sports
tennis,
fucks, okay?
yeah, hire this man. If you're playing tennis and you start thinking about the clock, does that help you
No,
or hurt
absolutely.
you?
When if you want to
Thank
play
you.
very good tennis on pressure points, you think of nothing.
So in a dating is a
think
pressure
of nothing.
situation. You gotta think of nothing, dude.
So
you gotta clear
athletes
your mind,
watching
be
this,
like,
athletes
clear your
watching
mind.
this, think about that when you're out there, when you're in that dating situation. Clear your mind, be yourself.
What's
and
Will's-
just react?
What's Will's
I
final
think we
word?
pretty much I like what you said. I'd probably say the same thing.
Yeah.
It's you're gonna find who you are as a person and what you do or don't like, and then there also comes a certain level of self-respect where when people start to act a certain way, you understand that no, I'm better than this, and I'm not gonna let people treat me this way. So when it comes to people responding late, 2 or 3 days later, or just ghosting, it's like, well,
It's respect.
okay,
Self-respect.
well then, I'm not gonna reach out. If you've ghosted me, then obviously you're not that interested. I've put myself out there. You don't like it. I know for myself it's time to move on because
Swipe.
and it is what it is. And eventually, it is a numbers game. As sad as that may sound, but 100% it's a numbers game. And the more chances you put yourself out there and are vulnerable, the more chances that you'll find someone that you really connect with.
Okay, so what
You
I've
miss
learned
100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott.
Michael Scott especially. So I think at the end of the day, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna keep up with the old dating
You
app.
should.
I'm gonna keep it up.
Get more. Download Hinge.
Even,
Download Tinder.
I may download. I still. You have not convinced me to download Tinder.
Hinge, though. Hinge.
Tell me why.
Maybe Hinge.
Hinge. Why?
I can't do it. Too many.
Oh God,
too many
we're at
things.
48 minutes.
The time clock
We're
is
at 48
been checked.
minutes.
Okay.
I want to segue. We've talked a lot about dating today. I want to segue into our last segment of the evening.
Ooh.
It is Neil's Got Issues. Okay, this is where I
Neil's
ask.
got
So
issues.
We haven't reached out to our podcast followers, hundreds of podcast followers who follow our podcast. We typically
Thousands.
get issues sent
Millions.
in. To my Instagram, it's at Neil_Schneider.
It'll be on the screen.
It'll be on the screen. You'll see it at Neil_Schneider.
At Neil.
Reach out to me
Schneider.
if you have any problems in your life, or you have any controversies, issues you want to talk about, or you want us, Will and Jay, to address on the show. Go ahead and send them out to me. We will, if it's a good one, I'll definitely put it on the show, and we'll try to get you some answers. I know we changed lives on season 1.
Yeah.
There was people talking about business.
My life was
talking
changed.
about
Careers.
relationships.
My life was
careers.
Yeah.
We literally, there was a guy who asked about his career. We told him, you guys told him not to quit his job and that he's an idiot. He actually quit his job.
Quit your fucking job. Go beg for your fucking job back.
Yeah.
You idiot. That's what my
But
He's doing well. So
He's
we were
doing
wrong.
well.
Is he?
So we
they
were wrong.
He's doing well. He's actually back to his
Awesome.
old job. He quit, took a 6-month hiatus, and he went back to his old job. So I guess you guys were actually right.
Well,
Do what you want to
we
do.
always
That's
are,
what-
man.
But
We
anyway,
always are.
anyway, we had a lot of interesting questions, but I am actually going to bring the question this week since we don't have any submittals because I didn't put it out. But we will get issues the rest of the episodes.
My chair is breaking.
Jay's box chair is breaking.
My box chair is breaking
However,
right as
I have
we
a
speak.
question
I'm
for you
falling.
guys. I have a
Okay.
question for you guys,
What's the question?
and it's about politics.
Ooh, I've heard of that.
Okay, it's a thing. There was a recent election. I don't know if you know about it.
Who won?
I don't know. Don,
Trick question
Trump-
to the audience. Who do you
Nobody-
think won? Who
nobody
do you
knows.
think
Nobody
won?
knows.
Yeah. You
but
gonna
everyone
believe the
knows Joe
media, or are
Biden
you gonna
won.
believe the
Yeah,
the
right.
vote count?
Yeah.
What is it? you know?
It's pretty damn obvious.
Okay,
Joe
so-
Biden won.
so-
but anyway, the
yeah.
question is, why is the United States of America still working on a system of the electoral college? Can anyone explain to me why we are still using the electoral college when most of the countries in the world, it's whoever gets the most votes wins the election?
I know
Someone
why.
tell me about it.
I know why.
Jay,
There
take the
is
floor on this
one
one.
answer why.
Take the floor.
And then we can
on
end
this
the podcast because this is not an issue really. This is more of just a
A
Neil's got.
political question
Neil's
that I need to
curious.
research.
Neil's
This isn't-
pondering
Yeah.
life.
Who needs to research?
I do. I have.
You don't have an answer.
No.
Well, you're
Well,
a moron.
you're a moron.
Thanks for nothing.
Well, you're a moron then.
Jay,
Get
I hope you
informed.
got a good one.
Get informed. Yeah, I have the accurate right answer.
Okay.
I can't tell you why it was started. Some people say it was to count slaves as 3/5 of people, and it allowed Virginia to have 4 out of the 5 first presidents because they had the most slaves in any state. I don't know.
The 3/5 rule is something I've heard.
Yeah, exactly. And Thomas
But why are
Jefferson.
we still?
and
The question
James
is,
Madison.
why are we still
So the,
under this?
The answer to the why are we still is, I think, there is no debate on this. And if there is debate out there, you're wrong because there's no debate. So it's because certain states benefit from the Electoral College and other states don't. And enough states benefit from the Electoral College that they're never going to have enough votes in the legislature to overturn it.
Like Rhode Island or something? Like Rhode Island or something?
Or no, like the swing states and the southern states, it gives them more of a sway. If the Electoral
but
College
that's
went
only a few states. That's only Florida, Ohio,
right, but it's enough
Pennsylvania,
states
Michigan.
because they've tried to overturn it throughout history. They've tried to vote to overturn it at various points in the country's history. They
Didn't
never have been
Colorado?
able to.
Colorado voted against it.
Well, no, the most recent thing is the National Popular Vote Compact, and it's like popularvote.org. I'm not affiliated with them. I voted for it, though. It basically what they're saying is if enough states pledge to give their electoral votes to whoever wins the popular vote, it's essentially a popular vote race. Because if enough states with 270 votes, if enough states with 270 votes say we'll give it to whoever wins, the loser could win all those states in the electoral college. But
How many states voted for that? Do you know?
I think it's at like 194 and 193.
Electoral votes?
Yeah, so they need to get to 270. So there are.
What if you get 193 though? That's quite a significant margin.
Well, I
for
think
a
that is.
region?
I think it is, but it's not enough to like make popular vote the law of the land. Sorry.
No, it doesn't make it a law of the land, but can they not make a region of 193 electoral votes and then dominate that section?
They can, but what I'm saying is, once they get to 270 plus states electoral votes, then
That
literally the
automatically
electoral
wins.
college is just obsolete now.
Right.
It doesn't do anything.
Okay, so
That's what they're
what
trying
are
to
they
get
doing
to.
with this 193? Is it they didn't get to
194,
270?
96, I don't know the
Okay,
exact number.
since it's not to 270, does it just go to
They're just
zero?
trying to get more states to pass it in their legislature.
So
Colorado
the next
passed it.
next 4 years, the next election, we're gonna back to the electoral college then, right?
I think so. I don't think it's going to be 4 years, but it could be 8 or 12. It just depends. I mean, I think the problem is like Biden, he won the popular vote by a lot. So, Biden supporters are going to say, yes, let's get rid of the popular vote. Let's use the popular vote. And then Trump supporters, he did well in the electoral college, but he did a lot worse in the popular vote. So it's like, they're going to be like, no, we should keep it. And I think as long as it benefits one political party, and I know, right, it benefits Republicans right now, but it could easily benefit Democrats in a different political landscape. But as long as it benefits one party, that party is not going to get rid of a system that helps them get closer to the presidency without having to campaign in states where they know they're going to lose.
So I don't specifically know that much about the electoral votes, so I'm not going to speak on that.
Like Rhode Island or something?
But I did watch a documentary recently, and the whole idea of gerrymandering is the same thing, where they split up certain the state is the state, but then they split it up in ways so that votes are swayed one way or another.
So they have districts that are one party or the other, is what you're saying. Yeah.
And what they found is that, I think it was back in the 80s, once the Republicans had taken power, that they started to change the way those districts are drawn.
Redistricting,
And so it started like almost a snowball effect where more and more states were favored, like the outcomes basically always came out. So
they made it so that like Republicans could keep their seats for like year after year after year, and election after election, and then
what they found
it wouldn't switch parties. And so they made these certain districts became Democratic districts and certain districts became Republican districts, and that just didn't change.
And what they found though was that the Democrats would have done the same thing. It's like the same thing as anything else. If you're in power, you're going to want to stay in power. And that's just human psychology.
Trump! You know what I mean?
4 more years. 4 more years.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no.
Hey, what do you mean?
4 more years of Biden, I agree.
We're just getting ready for a second Trump administration.
Please, if that happens, dude, we're taking the podcast to Canada.
Okay.
Neil's also joking.
Viva la Mexico!
I am joking.
¿Quién invitó a Will?
Okay.
That's going to be our show if
I feel like it's easy to argue that through the electoral college, everyone's vote is not equal. People in Florida's vote.
There's the documentary, and it's seriously. I think it's called literally that.
You think our votes matter in Colorado? If we didn't vote, guys, Colorado is going to win the Democratic. They're going to get Biden's going to get, or the Democratic candidate will win that most votes in Colorado.
But in popular vote, your vote is counted.
But
in popular vote, it matters more.
It is now 1-to-1, no matter where you live, because right now, Florida, people in Ohio.
Did you guys see what happened in Florida?
They choose our president.
Did you have something real quick to say?
Yeah.
But then, so the whole. I don't know. This is why it hasn't been solved, and I don't know if we're going to solve it on this podcast. But the whole idea of
I think we are.
Spoiler alert: we do in 15 minutes.
I think we can.
A bunch of people.
4 minutes.
So let's take Colorado for example. There was a recent bill that passed. Well, that passed, but the thing was, let's reintroduce wolves, and so you start.
I voted against it.
You start looking at the
animal hater.
You start looking at the demographics. And where most people are in cities, right? Yeah. Overall, most people are in cities.
Most people are in cities.
What you end up getting is a lot of people in cities voting for something that deals with people in the country. So how is that fair?
That's why I voted against it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, these motherfuckers.
Do I know better than the people that are going to have wolves in the backyard?
Why are people in Denver voting on wolves? Just let biologists and fucking people who live in those places where wolves could be just decide themselves. Why should I have a sway over that?
Exactly.
And and also because there's more people in Denver, we can decide things for other places. That's why the rural counties don't like the urban places.
Yes.
Because they feel like the urban places just make laws that are good for themselves, and they ignore the rural.
So the rural areas are saying that we need to keep the electoral college. Is that what you're saying?
I think so because it's helped it's helped make their vote count. Like nobody gives a shit about Nevada and Arizona and Pennsylvania, but when it's the election night, those states have.
But to what you would have to do is you have to add up all the numbers of people in the cities and see how it would compare to all of the rural areas out there, and what is
it's more.
The cities is more, yeah.
Yes.
Cities
by how many? How do you know?
By about 7 million, whatever Biden won by, because it's so urban-rural broken up.
So then the cities just always win over the rural areas, and that's why
in the popular vote. In the popular vote, George Bush won, but he actually lost the popular vote. Donald Trump won, but he lost the popular vote.
Yeah, sure.
So, yes, if the popular vote was there, I think cities would have more of a say. There's one thing I wanted to say before I forget. Do you know what happened in Florida? Apparently, like, it was a Democrat. Florida is so fucking crazy. Like, there was a Democrat and a Republican, right? And the end total ended up being like 50, let's say it's 50.
For president or
No,
Senate?
no, for Senate or House or something. It's a local Florida. It's a state level election.
Governor.
Governor.
Okay.
It was for governor.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was a state level election in Florida. And, like, basically the last guy's name was Rodriguez. And he lost, and it was like 55.3. And the other person won, and their last name was whatever. But the other person won, it was 55.6. But what the Republican won, and what they did was they got another guy with the last name Rodriguez to register at the last moment, and that guy got like 3%.
Thinking that they were voting for him?
Because that guy, he literally he didn't campaign or anything. He wasn't even a registered politician. They were like, hey, your name is Rodriguez, you want to run? And enough people got confused that the Democrat would have won by like 2-3%, but they ended up losing by like a fraction of a percent.
That is a legendary
because they
vote.
literally got
I think you deserve to win on that nasty stunt alone. I mean,
This is something I
really want to
legit
win.
heard. I'm not giving
Will's
any
got
kind of
stories.
credence or anything to this.
Will's got a story.
But I heard that could have been the reason why Kanye was running. To take some votes away from Biden.
Because, people
No,
said
he's
that.
absolutely trying to take votes away from Biden.
That's
obviously.
what everybody said, yeah.
Especially black vote. Let's be honest. Of course he
Insane.
was. Is it insane?
I
Well,
mean,
he
it's
and
the
Trump
same
are
exact thing
friends.
as this.
He and Trump are
Rodriguez.
friends.
Were friends. But then they broke up with this big stunt.
That's just
And
that's just making room for Kanye to be a frequent
yeah.
guest star on Trump TV. When Trump has his TV network on the internet,
Right.
Kanye's going to be a contributor. I think
we
we killed this.
Let's wrap it up. And next time when we get some, personally, if we're gonna get some advice segments, let's have them on personal advice, not political advice.
Why? Because you don't know politics?
Yes.
Sucks to suck, Will. Who invited you anyway?
Looking like an idiot.
Who invited you?
Who invited Will?
Who invited Will?
I
It's
don't
a
know.
question that no one has yet to answer. We still don't really know why
No,
he's
I
here.
told you this.
Do you know why he's here?
Oh, who invited Will? No.
Yeah,
no
no
one
way.
can.
Like,
No one
why
knows.
we look at each other like, why is Will here?
Yeah, he seems
like
to-
Jay and I came to record today, and then like Will walked in. And we're like,
He sits outside my
Why
door with
is
a
Will
cup
here?
on the door, and then
Oh,
when
we're
I
like,
flick
oh,
the
it's his
podcast,
birthday.
I flick the podcast switch on, and he just starts knocking. He's like, "Hey, guys, what are you recording?" No. No, I'm just kidding. We love Will. We love you guys. Thank you for watching this episode. Season 2, episode 1. Hope you liked it. New format, new video, new audio, new quality. Let's go.
and we've
Look how
got
tall I am.
and we've got a lot. Jesus. And we've got a lot.
Will's bigger than
we
me,
have
and
a
that
lot
makes
of-
me insecure. Will's bigger than me, and that makes me insecure.
We have Jay. Stop being insecure about everything. We have a lot of things planned for this season. Some competitions.
Yeah.
It's
Some
time for me-
competitions that Neil. Okay, yes.
We're gonna get another microphone for this plug, and
You
we're gonna have
literally
some
interrupted
guests.
me to say nothing.
In-studio
He
guests?
interrupted me to say nothing. Did
Neil-
he say anything?
Neil was supposed to run a marathon.
Was supposed to. That's
You're gonna do it.
everyone. If you're listening right now, I'm gonna run a goddamn
All right.
marathon.
Oh,
you like that?
If
You like that? Let's end
Okay.
with a banger.
All right. If you guys want to hear what the season wait. If you want to hear what the season finale is,
What?
it's
Bum,
Neil,
bum, bum, bum.
Neil and I
Are you gonna-
in a physical altercation. We're gonna be fighting each other.
So you're hurting
You
me.
don't want that.
You're hurting me, Will. He says Neil won a physical altercation. He grabs my shoulder. He starts squeezing slowly.
We're gonna
He's like,
fucking
yeah,
fight, baby.
I'm gonna fight Neil.
There's gonna be some. Listen, there's gonna be some food competitions.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some physical competitions.
Oh yeah.
Winner.
There's gonna
This
be
is
some
the competition
mental
season.
competitions.
Some people have called this the
Is
competition season.
But get ready, your boy's back.
What? Is this the sound effect season?
I'm back, baby.
You
Schneider's
have
back.
to be.
Schneider 44, vote for me, baby. Let's go. Let's end the
You
show.
have
Look
to
at
be
that.
an
To end the
idiot.
show.
Look at this and not
To
that.
end the show.
Neil, like this.
All right, Schneider 44. I'm out, baby. I'm out.
you
Who
have
invited
to be-
Wills? Episode 1.
Goodbye.
Do I pause?
Yeah. That was good.
That's a good ending.
Yeah.